Hi, my name is Mariah Kunipo-Agari, and my supplement presentation is on probiotics. So, quick outline, we'll look at an advertisement for a probiotic brand, talk about some claims on athletic performance, research on probiotics, and then recommendations for athletes. So here's a probiotic advertisement for a familiar brand called Align. Here is a 42 count supply. If you take one capsule daily, that's about $1.04 each. So this can be found at CVS, Target, Walgreens. It's pretty ample at all those stores, marketed as a convenient and affordable way to support digestive health. So it lists a unique strain, can be taken daily, and also noted as good bacteria to help the digestive balance. So here I got off of the CVS website. CVS pricing is $43.49. So for some claims on athletic performance, overall, probiotics are live microorganisms referred to as good bacteria. So when everyone talks about your gut health, that is because 70% of our immune system is in our digestive system. So they work together. For the article, the 2019 article, the claims were supporting gut health and immune function. So high intensity exercise can compromise an athlete's immune system. That suppression, can happen in athletes with travel, especially foreign travel, disturbed sleep, so long competition days or consecutive days of competition, environmental extremes, so colder weather than the athlete is used to, warmer weather, or elevated breathing. So that could be if an athlete trains or competes at a higher elevation than what they're usually exercising in. So it is very strain specific and dose dependent for the athletes. So certain strains are the ones that can actually assist in like the gut health and immune function that the athletes are looking for. Certain strains have reduced the number and severity of upper respiratory tract infections. So that can occur when, again, the athlete is traveling in a different environment than they usually train and compete in. Even just from kind of reducing the number of colds that the athlete could have. So reducing gastrointestinal stress during training or competition. So just better digestion, especially again if they're in a different area than they're used to. Food can be different. Just the digestive system, wanting it helps to reduce that, and then improve digestion and absorption. So absorption would be of nutrients. So improving that for the athlete, and then also suggest improved recovery from exercise. So that would be reduced inflammation or reduced muscle soreness. So are these claims accurate? Well, for overall, the evidence supports it as a health supplement. So that is the focus on the gut function, the immune health, and the nutrient absorption. Um, in an article where they had 20 triathletes who trained daily for 4 weeks, they saw no really full enhancements in like endurance or power or strength or VO2 max. Um, it was more showing that the athlete had a better overall health. So the enhanced physical performance was like shown to improve the time to fatigue. So more energy available, and the athlete was able to hold a higher workload. So if you look at here at the figure from, balance of the gut, intestinal barrier function, immune response, protect from pathogens. So for the athlete, that was the reduced symptoms of the GI or upper respiratory tract illnesses, enhanced physical performance, which is the time to fatigue, and then improved post-exercise recovery. So the inflammation reduced, the muscle soreness reduced, and then improvement of mood-related outcomes as well. So there were no direct measurable improvements in performance for athletes, but instead they were found that it kept the gut in balance, strengthening the stomach lining. Taking a probiotic does not add bacteria to your system. These microorganisms act more of a way of regulation and signaling between your gut, immune system, and brain. So then when the microbe survives in the gut, it is able to compete with the other pathogens, such as protection from pathogens, but it's very also dependent again on the strain and dose dependent too. So here in this study, where it was the 20 triathletes that trained daily for 4 weeks, they were placed into 2 groups, a placebo group and then a group that took the supplement, where they tested the Lactobacillus plantarum. They found 130% improvement in endurance performance in the athlete compared to the placebo group. So if you see here, they noted endurance, VO2 max, and body composition. There were only differences found in the endurance here from the placebo group. The probiotic group also had higher levels of short-chain fatty acids, so those helped improve energy utilization during the exercise, which again shows in the endurance graph. But no changes in the VO2 max or body composition. So the improvement was really from the metabolic adaptations, and then there was reduced oxidative stress and inflammation found as well. So the benefits really came from the athlete remaining healthy during the trials, and they were able to train longer and more often. So some recommendations for athletes, according to this 2020 article, probiotics support athletic performance by, again, the reduced GI and upper respiratory tract symptoms, enhancing training adaptations, improved mood responses after exercise. That has been one that has been found, especially with improved energy and utilization. There's a decrease in physiological responses post-exercise, so that's the reduced inflammation and the reduced muscle soreness. And again, it's noted more as serving as an indirect aid. So what does this mean? Overall, the impact of the probiotics is influenced by the dietary patterns and activity levels of the athletes. I would still recommend it to an athlete for their overall health, so their digestive health, their immune function, recovery post-exercise, so that because it helps with training consistently. And I think that, is a really important goal for the athlete to be able to train consistently, train daily, at the level that they need, even compete. If they need to compete in consecutive days. And it's budget friendly. So if you saw from the first advertisement, a 42 count capsule was about $42. So that pricing, isn't bad if we're looking to take something daily. The caveat is that it has not shown, the direct improvements in performance. So there was no increase in vertical jump, increase in weight, increase in VO2 max. So I would say don't expect these results when taking it. It is also, again, strain specific and dose dependent. So that's something that has to be worked out with the athlete. But just overall for the athlete to remain healthy, have good gut health, good immune system, keeping them, able to perform longer, keeping a higher workload. This is a great way to start daily and as a easy and budget-friendly option. Thank you.